What would you do if you could consistently make $30 to $50 per hour in your local live low-stakes poker game? Well, Chip Meyer has been doing just that. He has been crushing the live low stakes for up to 15 big blinds per hour. What started out as a spur-of-the-moment experiment with a borrowed $20 on PokerStars has turned into one of the big success stories of live low-stakes poker. With discipline and dedication, he routinely has graphs looking like this in his local card room in St. Louis, Missouri. To help you get the live poker results you desire, I asked him how he would improve his win rate as a break-even or slightly losing player so you can replicate his success. Buckle up for some of the most interesting insights about live low-stakes poker you have ever heard. Chip has played thousands of hours of live poker and he has cracked the code for winning. And although the games have changed over the past few years, his win rate confirms that live low-stakes poker is still very much beatable. How? There is one key strategy to beat these games.
Crushing live low stakes requires value betting. Value betting relentlessly. Sure, high equity semi bluffs work to balance you a little bit, but it's really not all that needed. We can still play a very exploitative style and just bet, and then fold to aggression when we receive it back. We're almost betting to apply some pressure on our opponents and kind of keep that pressure on our opponents until they tell us to stop. So the thinner we can value bet, I think the better off we are. And again, if we get a little too thin, they will tell us by raising us back or calling us down with better hands, and then we can maybe start to adjust once we find that inflection point or that pressure point at that point.
I agree that this is probably the single most important strategic component when playing against your typical recreational player at the low stakes. It was exactly this that doubled my win rate when I finally implemented it consequently. The other key to winning in live low stakes is to master playing multi-way pots. Once you get to that 5-10 big blind level, you need to know how to play heads-up pots. But if you play 1-2, 1-3, and even 2-5, it's all about navigating 5-way, 6-way, and even 7-way pots. And most players approach these pots completely wrong. They c-bet without equity, they call weak pairs after someone bet and two other players called, and they can't let go of big pairs when they're clearly beat. But how should they play?
When you are out of position in a multi-way pot, first of all, you almost check your range and you balance that with more check raising with your big draws and your big value hands.
And then Chip Meyer drops the sauce. Listen very carefully to what he is saying next, because this is something you hear very rarely, but this is exactly what increases your win rate in these live low stakes games.
Another thing that you can look to do in multi-way pots is who is left to act behind me, and do I want to shut them out or do I want to let them in? Are the weaker players on my left still to act, or are they on my right, where I want to kind of hog them to myself because the weaker players are going to make the bigger mistakes for the bigger piles of chips in these games? And you need to be thinking about that in those multi-way pots because everybody's equity drops and everybody has to play a little bit more straightforwardly because you're just not getting a bluff through if there are 5 people waiting to call you down.
This is something almost everyone gets wrong. They play their cards, but they ignore the dynamics at the table. If you raise a set in a multi-way pot after a good tight player c-bets, you might shut out the weaker players to your left. They will simply fold to all this action. Instead, if you just call, you will invite the weaker players into the pot. And if you're lucky, they might even raise their top pair if they are on the more aggressive side. So, value betting and being value oriented in multi-way pots will already get you quite far in the live low stakes. But this is only half the truth, because even if you value bet relentlessly, you will still not be a big winner in your game if you get this second thing wrong.
If you're not a big winner or even a slight winner in low live stakes, in my opinion, the biggest mistake I see is patience. People get bored. They didn't come to the casino to fold for an hour and a half. And sometimes you have to when you run card dead. that working on that patience, picking your spots, understanding that just because you got queen jack suited doesn't mean it's playable with a raise and a three bet in front of you, will probably go a long, long way towards increasing that win rate and obviously working on your patience as well to crush the live stakes.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen players dust off their entire stack because they played hands that they shouldn't. They open up pre-flop, they hope to get lucky, and then they find themselves calling a river shove with the second best hand. But even big winners have periods where they lack sharpness and where they get lazy. Instead of taking a break from poker, Chip took the opposite approach when he was going through a downswing. He came up with a 200-hour challenge. 200 hours of playing live poker in which he refocused.
During that 200-hour challenge, to be honest with you, it started because I needed a complete reset of my own system. I had gotten a little off the rails in my own game, a little wonky, three betting a little too much, maybe bluffing a little bit too much, etc. And I have always found, I'm a golfer by trade, so I have always found that when I start thinking about too much at the table, on the golf course, that I need to just drop everything, go right back to the basics, forget about everything that I'm thinking about, and hopefully practice getting right back to the very, very, very fundamentals of the game, the value betting, the raising pre-flop, isolating, things like that. And the 200-hour challenge allowed me to do that. And when I stopped and said, start over, don't worry about your historical win rate, don't worry about the last 6 months. Let's just do 200 hours worth of the best poker we can play. And instantly, my game came right back to me.
Those 200 hours went on to become one of the most successful stretches in his game. Of course, the sample size is nowhere near enough over 200 hours, but he won over $6,000, putting his hourly at an impressive $34 per hour. Consistency is very important for Chip too, both when he runs good or bad.
I try to stick to a schedule of 10 to 15 hours a week, usually 3 sessions a week, about 3 or 4 hours in length. And I'm more of a time cures volatility kind of guy. So I try not to pay as much attention anymore to session winning or losing as much as I try to pay attention to, am I just logging my hours? Because at the end of the month, at the end of the year, the numbers will be there. It's just, we got to ride the roller coaster along the way.
No matter how good you are, variance will humble you at some point. But with Chip's tips, you will be on the winning path. And if you don't remember all of them, don't worry. Here's a quick recap of what to do to crush the live low stakes.
Just again, patience, patience, patience. Everybody goes card dead for an hour. Everybody gets the 9-4 offsuits and the 10-3 offsuits. I would say fold your small blind more often. I would say value bet as thinly as you possibly can and then think about doing it a little bit thinner. I would say never bluff without at least some equity in the pot. And I would end by saying try to be the aggressor most of the time, because when you keep the pressure on them, even if it's a smaller bet sizing, when you keep the pressure on them, they will tell you when to back off.
Chip has his own YouTube channel where he gives tips about poker, link below. And if you want to find out exactly how to value bet more thinly and thus improve your win rate, then click on this video here.